Welcome to Evanced Solutions How-To session. Today's session will cover how to modify system setup in General Setup within Summer Reader. Let's begin by signing in to the staff side of your Summer Reader program. You will need to know your administrative password to sign in and do the modifications for today's session. Here in the password box, I am going to type in my administrative password, and I can either hit the Enter key on my keyboard or I can select the login by a simple click. Once the program opens, it will open up and manage programs. However, for today's session, we will need to go up into the toolbar, select System Maintenance, come over to System Setup, and select System Settings. Within System Settings, there are different topics that will be separately defined. So for this session, we're talking about General Settings. Within General Settings, the first field that you see is going to be Library Name. The library name is very important because anytime that the system calls this field, this is the text that it would read. So for my library, I'm going to name it Sabrina's Fairy Tale Library. The next field that you see is the home page, and this is where you would define your actual home page. And this field is very important for the patron because when they're in your website, when they're making modifications to your programs, you have a home button field, and when they select this home button, it should direct them to your current home page. And as you can see, I have Marion County Public Library's home page. Let's flip over back to the staff side of Summer Reader and finish discussing the other fields. The next field that you see here is the library contact email address. This should be an email address for a contact person that would be willing to answer questions from patrons about their programs. The next field is Allow Prize Cancellation. We have the Yes/No option. This basically turns on the functionality of whether or not we are going to allow prize cancellation. The next field is List Mouse Overs. A lot of times in the system, you will be able to run your mouse over different things and it will do a pop-up to give you more information. As you can see here, when I hover over the question mark, it's giving me a mouse over. So if you want to allow those for your patrons, you would simply mark yes. The next field that you see there is the Program Activity Days. Now, when you're in your Manage Programs and you're reviewing an actual program, you can review that information for a particular time frame. So let's say, for instance, I put in 90 days here, or I put in 90, and I select Save. My Manage Programs, you will see the last 90 days, it's giving me specific information. So we have 10 books that have been read in the Youth Summer Reader program within the last 90 days, and then it would give me a grand total in the field next to it. It does the same for reviews and comments. Let's go back to System Maintenance and go to System Setup, System Settings. And now we can define the data records. And what this is defining is how many records are displayed per page. So anytime you're pulling up number of patrons or a number of programs, we could define how many of those records are defined per page. If you're a person that likes to see more on a page, we can up this number to 20. The next field that you have here are the report records. How many records do you want to display in your report? So when you would come up and you would run your reports, we can define how many actual records would display. And right now I have it set to 20. Once I have my general settings defined, I can move down the screen and start defining my other topics. See the next recorded session.